And the GyoGun, the underest of underdogs. Yep.
Very nice.
I'm sticking with it. I'm running with that.
The underest underdog is very nice from you. Going to Oregon. I think the one saving grace that I think I have for GyoGun is that this is a map that is very well drilled. People know how to play Oregon. Even if you are a tier 3 team, a tier 2 team, a tier 4 team even, you probably know how to play Oregon. Even if you play ranked, you probably know how to play Oregon. So I think if there's any map to take CAG to, it's probably this one, because at least you know what you're doing.
I love that. I rate that. That's fine. That's good. Let's see
Good
if
things.
GyoGun are gonna have much to go for. It looks like the Ying really loves a ban here in the Japan. Ying loves a ban here in Japan.
I'll rate it. I don't like Ying. Ying's scary. Being flashed is not fun. It's not good. Especially when you're on the defense and it like forces you to pick Warden. That's not good. That's like taking away one of your operators that you can pick to set up the bomb site. And like,
I would like to agree with you, but unfortunately we are in the Warden meta, Mandy. Everyone loves picking Warden just for his gun.
I really
he has a shield too, so I don't know. We'll see if we get a lot of Warden play. The Azami sneaking through. It's an exciting one for defenders. They can rejoice.
Yeah, there's actually quite a lot for the defense here. You've got Solace and you've got Azami, both very meta-defining operators. Solace is going to make it very hard for attackers to sweep through the map, and Azami is going to make sites like the top floor, for example, a lot more viable because you can cut off lines of sight, for example, from this games window, which is going to be open and closed again. Interesting. And also from the double window too. So there's a lot that Azami can do to fortify up this top floor. Same thing with a lot of the other bomb sites too. You can create power positions out of things that are not supposed to be power positions if you have Azami.
5 seconds to insertion.
Well, I hope we see Cyclops bring, despite Rob saying that they have been a bit more toned down recently, I hope we get to see the gusto that we know and love them for. And seeing our Cully pick that tomorrow does give me a little bit of hope. Maybe we might see an explosive attack.
Ooh, I like. Akali as well, he's the most recent addition to CAG, and it's cool to see him be such a pivotal part of the roster so far, being able to pick these big impact operators like Amaru. Seems like he's positioned himself outside of that big tower to try and get control in towards Attic. He has got the hard breach charge in his hand, so he can make his way in through if he gets that control.
Love that air jab here. Just suppressing these defenders, but apparently not. Oh well, could be worth it if you can find a kill. Benjamin goes down for GyoGun. A re-peek is perfectly timed there. And Noexa is able to refrag there. Black Ray going down. The Cyclops without quite as much gusto as they were hoping for, but here comes Arkuli. He hears the player in T1 and a bit of a pre-fire may well scare off Ochan.
Oh, he's going to get away with it himself instead. Ochan playing a pretty disciplined game here as Akali's made his way inside of Kitchen. The player just above the hatch, that's Ireba on the other side. Unfortunately, Black Ray got distracted by the Wee Woo, giving away his position and enabled him to be traded out. Oh, Ireba, what are you going for? He's just decided to jump outside of that double window and gets pistoled down by Suzu. I think another one's about to jump out the window. Oh my gosh, scary times.
Well, Cyclops seem to be ready to punish this attempted aggression from GyoGun, but unfortunately, not always panning out for them. Zochan has found a big pick. Noexa is able to replace his destroyed Kiba barrier. Suzu does find one, however. So we're just back and forth here, Mandy. Now, Shonchan and Noexa are the last two players left up for GyoGun, as Cyclops appear to be making a rotate.
Going over towards that master side of the building instead of going for that double window hop-in. This Azami barricade right here where Noex is playing is making it very hard for them to execute over towards that western side of the map, so I think pivoting over here is a good choice for CAG. With 40 seconds left to go, they really don't need to rush this execute either. They have time to send the drones into the bomb site and call out exactly where the remaining two defenders of GyoGun are playing.
Top white control for Cyclops, and about to be out of control. Oh, but Shonchan is able to sneak on through, doubling back, taking down Anaton. The trade immediately back, replied with yet another trade. It's just up to Arkuli now against Noexa, holding a very fortified position behind the Kiba barrier. But Arkuli has the superior weapon. Doesn't matter, because NoX has got the clutch ability. GyoGun kick off this game with a nail-biting 1v1 and a round on their side of the scoreboard.
I'm actually quite impressed with the way that GyoGun played that. The mid-round was messy, but I think it was really on GyoGun to actually make that as messy as it was, right? As the trades came through, it was GyoGun. They were constantly looking for refrags and looking for opportunities to stunt CAG in their attack. They didn't just play the power positions and wait for CAG to make their entry and then fight them after that. They really took the fight straight to the attackers. And honestly, I think it's a super formidable way to play the game, especially against an opponent like CAG, where they can be quite oppressive.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I do love seeing the pace from GyoGun. It seemed like constantly they were jumping out windows, getting aggressive, going for refrags. Always takes a bit of guts to do that against some of the big teams, but they don't show any hesitation whatsoever despite the pedigree of their opponent. The Cyclops need to be ultra careful here not to let the lead slip while they're on the attacking side. I think most people in a BO1 on Oregon would favor the defense, but Cyclops can't use that as an excuse.
That's exactly right, as they will now need to mount another attack attempt onto Oregon, and this time onto the basement. Now, we like to say the basement, probably the most defender-sided bomb site in the game, in the competitive game right now. Maybe aside from Theme Park Armory, perhaps, but it's pretty close to it. Shield is actually going to be replaced, I think, by a Reva inside of blue. It didn't get taken down from that Flores drone, so he's still holding the bomb site pretty comfortably as CAG start to mount their attack onto the rest of the map. Backside take seems to be on the cards as Big Tower has already been taken control of by Acryli.
The map control for Cyclops, shaping up for what appears to be a back tower and blue push. Jivasu got great value out of that Yana Gemini. That pillar's position has now been retaken, as Ochan is now falling back once again for GyoGun.
They've been given a lot of map, to be honest. The hatch is closed inside of Attic, as has been pinged down now, so the only thing that Akali has to worry about coming into this meeting entry is the player inside of Split, but there is in fact no one there on the roam, as they're only playing inside of that security Zulu kind of area. Means that CAG can freely start to make their work onto this backside of the map. They have a lot of utility to do it as well. A set of flashbangs on Black Ray and grenades as well from Chibisu will aid them as they go for the push down into pillars. The defense starting to retake inside of this meeting position is going to be stopped by a Cully, but he now has to worry about an additional rotation.
Ochan has continued to deal a lot of damage here, dancing between these positions, and yet to be punished. Cyclops need to be ultra cautious here. They need to start taking down some of these advanced positions. Black Ray does just that. Arkuli as well has found his pick. And now he drops down that electrical hatch, but it's got to be ultra cautious about that pillar position. I think Araba was the guy. No, it was Noexa who's the last one left. And Black Ray can easily swipe off his head. A good reply here. And as you said, Mandy, this defense-favored bomb site goes the way of the attack.
Unfortunately for the defenders, the mini retake that they tried to do, I want to say mini because all they tried to do was just reclaim the backstairs and meeting through the mid-round, wasn't quite successful for GyoGun. I can admire the tenacity to hold on to as much of the map as they can, even on the basement. I admire it. But unfortunately, CAG were disciplined enough to be able to shut that down on the very minimalist take that they were going for. They didn't need a whole lot of flank watch, so they could isolate those gunfights as the mini retake came through. And so I think for GyoGun, look, I admire it, but it's probably not the greatest macro decision making that you could have had.
Well, I appreciate that they're going to change sides. I think if you're GyoGun and that's how you want to play, maybe don't do it on basement. If you want to play this aggressive, keep peeking, keep retaking kind of strategy, meeting is your kettle of fish. I mean, this is exactly the kind of bomb site where you need to be getting up in the defender's face, or the attacker's face, where you want to be going for those roams, those extensions, those retakes. So I quite like we're seeing it here.
I like it too. I think that meeting leans itself into playing adjacent to the bomb sites. You don't really want to play inside of kitchen, for example. I mean, you could, but you know, you'd rather play in security where you can actually like contest the hallway and have a rotation. Same thing with meeting. It's like, yes, you could play inside of meeting, but it's a bit scary. You'd probably rather play around split where you have the safety of your reinforcements away in and out, that kind of thing. It's like, I think that this leans into GyoGun's concept as they go into Oregon, where they want to try and hold on to things adjacent to the bomb site and have the opportunity to retake. And I think playing close to the hallways, good idea. It's good from Benjamin as well to be able to kick it off with a first pick outside of the lobby double. A second one just around though. He seems pretty aware of it, looking for that jiggle peek, but he's long gone.
Big play to take down, and it's always been a real dangerous one for Cyclops. Also the Brava as well. Even just being able to hack a mute jammer here and there, or a Aussie pest, a pested drone. But particularly those Aruni gates, which otherwise can be quite frustrating to deal with. If you hack an Aruni gate, there's not a lot that defense can do about it. They'll just have to tank the damage in most cases.
Can you hack Aruni gates now? Or was that always a thing?
You've always been able to do it. And what
I thought that was like, I thought there was a thing for a while that you couldn't hack Aruni gates because it was like bugged or whatever. Okay, no, I thought
I don't know, maybe it was bugged. I don't know, but you definitely.
Okay, that's been fixed. That's exciting. That's good. Very nice. Anyway, we're going in to this top floor. That's what CAG want to do. Good idea. Means that you're cutting down on the roamers of GyoGun, although there isn't kind of anyone here. All of them are on the ground floor. As they make their way an establishment inside, they can get control of the meeting hatch. That is the main important thing here. Is if they want to open that one up, it's going to force all the anchors inside of meeting to vacate themselves towards that split area, which is quite a tight place to play in.
Slow and patient here, but Chibisu has spotted a player getting aggressive inside the showers hallway. I think they might have a rotation back. But he is basically trapped here, caught between a rock and a hard place. Shochan as back from the other side though in Z, looking to cut off Chibisu's position. Noexa, believe it or not, is able to get the better of Chibisu. The jump in is ill-advised. What is Cyclops doing? They've let it fall apart and they're just feeding him. Noexa is happy to lap up kill after kill. And Black Ray with it all to do in a 1v5. Finds his first. But 4 more to go. It's a tumultuous, if not impossible task here for the Nomad on very low HP. This little headshot. Nice little air jab. Doesn't deploy correctly. Still caught on camera. And that's going to be it. There's no way that he wins this one. Shanchan to deliver the final blow. GyoGun. Quite like this man. This is exciting. We're seeing a bit of flavor from him.
Ooh, good things from Noexa. CAG actually dedicated lots and lots of resources to try and clear him in his position. They had Chibisu play his cutoff to make sure he couldn't rotate out of showers. But because Noexa won that gunfight, it suddenly enabled him to take literally every other gunfight against CAG. And as he took every single 1v1, the DMR was pretty lethal in his hands, and CAG were completely shut down by one man inside a shower.
Yeah, wow. Doesn't bode very well here for Cyclops. We need to see them start to wake up a little bit. They can't afford to continue slipping these rounds on their attacking side. When they switch to their defense, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them, and while I do have faith that they'll probably get 4 defense rounds, I don't think they can afford to slip many on the attacking side, especially when it just seems so winnable. If we hold Cyclops to the standard that we have held them to in the past, really shouldn't be falling quite so easily as they have just in these last couple rounds.
I think it's exactly right. I think for CG, like, if there are other attacks that you want to win, it's probably the tertiary bomb site ones, right? They're the ones that you're most likely to get one on. That being said, they did win a basement attack. That's like a big thing, right? Like for the defense is like, that should be one. That's almost like a done deal, right? But then, yeah, losing it to like tertiary like that kind of is like, oh.
What's like the prize for winning your basement attack, right? Is that you get to attack basement again. But in this case, funnily enough, maybe GyoGun was perfectly happy not to retry the basement. At least for Cyclops, GyoGun will be locked out for a little bit longer of that tertiary bomb site. Instead, go back to dorms. But this was pretty successful for them in the past. Akuli almost taken down as Ochan been allowed to stay here in Tier 2 of Tower for far longer than he should have, realistically. That's a 3rd drone he's now able to take down.
Ooh, cut off though from Chibisu, is able to swing his way into the Tier 3 position. Now attic control is in the hands of CAG, but they have to worry about the flank from Benjamin, who's down below inside of Tier 1. Hopefully there is a flank drone there to stop him, at least in his tracks, as they can start to pivot their control over to Master's side and work through the mid round.
This is not looking good now for GyoGun. There might be a chance here for Cyclops to type scoreline, get back on that horse. Been a bit worried for them these past couple of rounds, but a man advantage slipping their way. Surely this forces GyoGun to get even more aggressive.
I think that is what we're going to see here. We've got a rotation hole inside of that closet position. That's where Areba's playing at the moment, and he can use that to re-aggress onto the position. That's exactly what happens as Suzu is taken down by him. Black Ray, thankfully, is there for the trade at the bottom of the white stairs. Flashbang to try and aid him, making sure the refrag does not come through, as GyoGun like to re-aggress onto positions like that. With a minute left on the board and the man advantage, this should be a nice round for CAG to clean up, but look, we've seen them fall before.
They say 2v4 is the most dangerous scoreline in Siege.
It is.
Feels like the most throwable one, but great pre-fire there from Chibisu. It's going to be very difficult now for Sean Chan, and he's not even going to find one in the 1v4. Great job from Cyclops, getting the early picks, locking out the round from henceforth. And a good start for them, Andy. I have a lot more faith now that they've successfully attacked both dorms and laundry on the attacking side.
I do too. I like the way that they are grouping up in 2s and 3s and able to shut down the re-aggression of GyoGun. GyoGun kind of don't really give up on things, right? They're a bit relentless with what they hold on to, and they're a bit relentless with what they retake as well. So I like that CAG are playing a pretty cautious game as they make their way into the map. The early round is really disciplined from them, just starting out on the rappels and external of the building before they try and actually make a dent into the bomb site. I think it's really punishing to the way that GyoGun have been playing. Now, if GyoGun do the same thing here on this basement defense, and they actually like try and retake up the tower stairs, they try and retake meeting and that kind of thing, CAG seem to have a formula to deal with it now, and it could be quite dangerous.
I feel like GyoGun need to extend to a roam, but the setup doesn't seem to be that too heavily. I mean, they've got some rotations here, but looking at the operator lineup, I feel like they've chosen very anchor-centric operators, you know, leaning into the Malusi, the Kayid, the Azami, the Smoke. Capcans are the only one that would typically constitute Aroma. What is the philosophy here for GyoGun on the defense? Because, like you said, I've got a lot of faith here in Cyclops. They've already won this attack once. They look to repeat.
I've got a lot of faith in these guys too. I think Cyclops are playing a pretty disciplined game against what could be quite a punishing team in GyoGun in the way that they like to retake things, but I think that they're just being very calm about the way they're dealing with these attacks, and I think it's paying dividends so far. CAG looking for this map control as they start out inside Big Tower. That's Chibisu on the buck, and if he so wishes, he could certainly make his way through the rest of the map, but he doesn't really need to, right? If you want to go for a back take, getting full map control isn't exactly mission critical. You just need to get control inside of that meeting area, make sure that E-box is open, there are no defenders there, and then convert that into a pillar's execute, right? So CAG doing the bare minimum to attack this basement bomb site, and GyoGun aren't really there to contest them.
Here comes a nade. Oh, almost takes down Areba. Very low HP, that could punish in the late round. Areba only has one gas left as well, so really feeling that pressure. Akuli's got good information on this pillar player too. A nade, this is very ambitious, but could be sent very deep. Surely it won't net a kill. He's got to decide whether he wants to clear out that Banshee as well that is stopping him from just walking on in.
They're playing the minigame for the hatch now as well, I believe. The EMPs to go out on the meeting hatch, making sure that Shanshan couldn't trick it with the Retilia Claw, means that E-box position is now open for the attackers. The next line of contest will be trying to clear out the position inside of Pillar, and they have the flashbangs that they need to do it on Black Ray, and Akali is going to lead the charge.
Good opener. Areba goes down. And a great opening now for Akali, as that electrical wall has been breached by the Rotero. Moving on forward, no nades to go, but still the drones to continue marching forth. Surely a player going to fall here as Shanshan continues to peek. The flashes to go out. Akali caught in a really awkward position. The same can be said for Shanshan.
Ooh, this is some really interesting defender positions though for GyoGun. There's a player right inside the corner near the bomb that is often not checked. Surely Akali looks at it. Oh, there we go. Thank goodness he's got the discipline to do that. Check your doors and your corners, and now 5-on-2 seems pretty dire for GyoGun.
Ochan dancing around the bomb, tries to make a play. No Exa in the hallway, does find one, but is traded back by the Glaz. Coming in from elbow. A great play at the end of it from Cyclops. Nice and thorough attack there, Mandy. And they are looking to win this half.
Really good things from CAG. It doesn't feel like they're doing anything too special, right? That was a very textbook back tower take. All you need to do, clear meeting, open the hatch, go down to pillars, take blue at the same time. That's it. Convert the execute. It's not like some massive map clear where you're opening up every single hatch, assessing all your options. CAG just have one linear idea, and they're dedicating themselves to it and anticipating that GyoGun will probably make amateur mistakes and they'll regress onto positions that they shouldn't, or they're going to play positions that they probably shouldn't be in, like catching people off guard in weird spots on the anchor. And I think that CAG are doing a really good job at the moment to just play the better game here on Oregon and play it right.
Technical pause now. This is not a tactical, our understanding. What did GyoGun do now though, Mandy? Because they won meeting, they won Dorms. Now Dorms, since then, has been taken as a win for Cyclops. Laundry is now 2 Ls over the course of the half, and there's one last chance to try and even it up before we switch sides. I can't help but think that GyoGun's only real chance here is to once again do something a little bit crazy, a little bit silly, and go to that kitchen meeting bomb site. Try and throw Cyclops off the trail, because it really feels like that CAG are starting to catch a scent of GyoGun and starting to hunt them down, putting them on the ropes.
I kind of get your thing. I get your idea, right? It's like, don't dedicate to this like half play style where you're like kind of sitting on site but then kind of looking to regress and be impressive, right? Like either fully dedicate yourself to a big fat roam and hold on to the map for as long as you can, or like dial it back completely and hold on to the bomb site. You kind of don't want to be in between if you're GyoGun, right? Because like by being in between, they're being punished. Like they're being kept honest with the way that CAG are playing Oregon, right? So yeah. I get your point. I think it's very valid until what GyoGun are suffering from at the moment.
I feel very validated.
Very nice.
It looks like they are going to do it. This is meeting after all. So they must have been listening. And I guess in that tech pause, they got a little free tact pause. They couldn't talk to their coach, but they could have a little chat between them and discuss where they want to go next round. I don't think we're going to see a repeat, Mandy, of what we saw the previous kitchen meeting defense, which is that silly 3K from a Rooney in the shower hallway. I think most likely Cyclops is going to be a bit more diligent, perhaps a bit more pointed in their approach, moving together, really working together to take ground rather than feeding these 1v1s. That said, Akali is going for a bit of a lurk. Very ambitious one. And Chibisu has been taken down early by Benjamin, who seems to always be on the front of these opening exchanges. Unfortunately,
the lurk into the basement didn't quite work. I believe that's where Chibisu died from, just the line of sight through the meeting hatch. CAG are actually going to look for a big tower take here. Diffuser in the hands of Suzu. Also on the Thermite would indicate to me that they are looking for, once again, a more linear push here on Oregon. They're not looking to take full map control or anything ambitious like that. Just see what you can do. Try and probe your way into the bomb site from one direction and try and see how GyoGun respond to it. Now, there is a big tower setup. In fact, there is a shotgun on the tower stairs, which is a bit spooky. Scary times. Oh. But they do have the entry coming in from below to try and aid this, and Anderson being able to even up the man count onto Benjamin is good signs.
Ochan's about to feel a lot of pressure now. If this doorway is opened, I think the rest of Cyclops are looking to take upstairs above the rest of the tower. Akali has found the Mozzie down below inside of blue. Actually, he was all the way down looking for a flank on the stairs and looking to support his teammate. You can see how worried Ochan is now. Got to worry about pressure below. Got to worry about Glaz coming in from his left. Got to worry about the player on the right. This SMG-11 has to land the headshot.
Yeah, CAG are doing a super good job at keeping GyoGun honest with the way that they're playing here. GyoGun, they're trying to look for these flanks, and they're being caught out by flank drones. We saw one kind of in the overhead for like a second. It was just in the corner on the shelf of the basement. That's the one that Akali keeps switching on and off to be able to check that. Not only that, but Benjamin was punished for being a little over-aggressive and going for a garage spawn peek too. So CAG, in just being cautious and holding their ground, are just punishing GyoGun so far and making sure that they don't fall to these amateur mistakes.
I love this rotate though from Cyclops. Have a look. They've gone into small tower. They've taken full control. Well, they have a man advantage. It is slim. As is that timer starting to tick away, but the exothermic charge to detonate is going to put Noexa in a world of pain, but an opportunity to make a massive play. And he's caused the pain for Cyclops. That diffuser still unclaimed. Anatton and Blackray have to 2v3. There's 20 seconds to go, and I just don't think that diffuser is going to get picked up. Finally, Araba and Norexa go down. It's all up to Ochan. But is there time now for Blackray to get this plant secured? He's going to air jab the position off, and he's got to start planting now. Ochan, low HP, but with a C4 in pocket. The Glaz is always watching, and Anatton can cover just enough. The Cyclops and secure a 4-2 half on their attack.
Really good work from Cyclops to be able to clean up the early round nice and easy. Punishing the re-aggression of GyoGun and then eventually converting it through the mid-rounds, making that big rotation. Now, it was a little bit scary. Noexa seems to really like making showers and dining his realm. It is his realm, and we are just living in it, apparently, as every time that CAG have tried to attack that, they've always gotten into a bit of a tussle with him. But thankfully, with the man advantage that they had enough redundancy in the late round to make sure that they played the trades and make it work and get the bomb down.
Yeah, and overall, a great half. I was a little bit worried at the start when it was 2-1 up for GyoGun, but since then, 3 attacks straight for Cyclops, and really that final one was the only one that was even slightly close. Now GyoGun have to move on to their attacking side, and Mandy, I am frankly terrified for them. I was really hoping to get excited for an underdog here, especially players that have been around for so long in the scene, a team whose name we have heard before. In fact, I looked back, Mandy, at the Japan Championship way back in 2021, which was the one that me and Rob were talking about before. GyoGun, like I said, they came 4th. And on that team was Ochan, Noexa, and Araba. And so 3/5 of that roster have still remained the same 2 years later. And they've still managed to trek through that amateur league scene to get to a chance here to go to a major.
I think the problem is that a lot of the things that they're going for, where they get their elbows out and try and look for things, it will definitely work in the amateur scene, right? Because the players are not nearly as disciplined. But when you go up against a force like CAG, where they know how to punish mistakes like that, and where they're actually actively looking for that playstyle, they're going to get punished for it, right? It's just them falling to themselves, in my opinion. I don't think that CAG have like a massive science to the way that they're playing Ergen or anything like that, especially on their attack. I think that it was really GyoGun that were just falling to their own playstyle there.
And I think that's replicated here with Benjamin going down early. Solo, not enough information taken out. But Ochan is able to find one onto Suzu to potentially even up the scoreline. I was going to say there might have been another exchange there. Chibisu, a bit of a duel. Ochan has somehow managed to get his way all the way into meeting. I don't know quite how he got here, but he snuck through. And Blackray has found Shonchan still hiding upstairs inside of dorms. And with the bailiff out, he's not able to find another. So 3v3 with half the round to go.
This is actually quite good from GyoGun. They've got a lot of control of the map and a lot of picks as well, with a whole minute and 20 seconds left to go. It's certainly convertible from here, Dev. I'm quite impressed by how much they've been able to achieve in such little time. The next point minigame that they're going to face is going to be that E-Box Hatch, if they choose to do so. EMPs, but being tricked by the Retilia Claw, I don't think has gone down in time. Oh, it actually has. There you go. So, meaning Hatch stay closed for now. They're going to try it again, though.
The other Artilla Claw just went down as well, but the double EMP should ensure that the hatch is open. Now the gases can start coming out from Arkuli. He's playing Sapper spot here inside of Freezer. But if he over-aggresses, Noexa might be able to take him down. As the hatch is breached, Noexa, Koff revealing his position as he moves on forward. Arkuli moves on back. A second gas. One left in pocket. But now a decent chance for GyoGun with 30 seconds remaining.
Tough though. 30 seconds left to go. Flashbang still in the hand for Araba, who's going to look to put that bomb down from the laundry side of the map. A player to meet him on the other side in the hallway. And CAG with a smoke babe in hand can at least lock out one point of entry. Going to be tough for GyoGun.
It's going to have to be explosive here from inside of Freezer, but they do find 2 of the 3 picks needed. Surely the diffuser can start to go down. It's Araba to get the job done. Chibisu, the trigger discipline, but he doesn't have the aim to back it up. Oh, how unfortunate there for Chibisu. But a great way for GyoGun to show that they are still fighting here as they take their first attack.
Yeah, nice job being able to close out the mid-round to the late rounds. Able to pivot their push and their control towards the lobby side as they realized that meeting hatch was a little challenging to get open and was taking a lot of time. CAG really had their line of sight kind of trained on the wrong part of the map in my opinion as the execute went through GyoGun. They went for a front-sided take from lobby, but there was kind of only one power position there to deal with it, and that was the player inside that highway hallway. There wasn't anyone playing in laundry, for example, playing behind the washing machine. The other two defenders were playing around that pillar's position, anticipating that back take might come through, so I think a bit of a misread from CAG, to be honest, to what GyoGun were going for in the execute. It gave them a big opening to get the bomb down.
Very interesting. Look at the way that Anaton has spent the entire prep phase on his cameras, flicking these default cameras, potentially looking for drones, trying to get an idea of where this push might be coming from. Maybe even trying to hide the fact that he's playing the CAG, doesn't want it visible. Very interesting from Cyclops, not something I see very frequently.
It may have, like, kind of worked, right? Like, if it's with the purpose of hiding the key, there are no EMPs. So if he puts down his thingies now, what are they called? The Retilia claws. It's not like they have like the easiest way to get rid of them. They have to send some nades through and whatever. Or if he wants to actually play the minigame and trick them, that's also a thing. I actually have no idea why he's hiding himself, other than maybe your theory is right, where he's trying to hide the key being on the board. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Well, interesting.
Why are we saying it funny
My
like that?
favourite
What are we doing?
Just a nice little adjective. You know, it feels like it's insinuating something.
Fascinating.
As is Chibisu,
Sorry, we
insinuating
completely lost
something
it.
by this prepped window. Tempted to go for a jump out. Instead, he actually climbs up the ladder to tier 3. Oh, there was it. Oh no, I thought that was a drone. It was a SAM cam from Zero.
There are actually two SAM cams that were dedicated to try and gathering intel on Big Tower from Ochan. Unfortunately, both of them were taken down, and Chibisu looks pretty comfy in his spot. Doesn't seem like he's gonna run away anytime soon. So this exothermic charge is going on the wall, and Anaton, I think, has really missed his opportunity. Oh, and Areba's gonna go straight for it.
Bro. I mean, that's just one of their moments, isn't it? 2 KE claws in pocket, and Blackray almost dies as well on the rotation. At least he still has 3 keeper barriers in pocket he can now set up. This is not a great start here on the defense from Cyclops.
Yeah, that was interesting from Anaton. There was so much build up to the fact that he had Retilia claws in hand to try and trick that wall, only for the exothermic charge to go on the ground anyway. It was, you know, anticlimactic, but what can you do? GyoGun now in a pretty good spot, honestly, inside of Trophy to try and clear out and plan for the execute. I think as well Big Tower has been vacated for them, so nice shot there from Shochan all the way inside of Trophy to be able to take down Blackray. Unfortunately, Ochan never really ended up taking down Chibisu, and he hid himself in the Big Tower to the end and took him down, backstab from behind.
Now Chibisu's been able to get back to sight, dueling with the Bark, but Shonchan gets the better of him. The trade comes through, and it's a game of trades, it seems. Back and forth, and GyoGun come out on top. A very strange round. Started weirdly with Anaton dying early, and it finished. I saw the logo. I said fished instead of finished with a strange exchange. GyoGun have actually tied up the scoreline. Could we be looking at an attack decided Oregon?
It could be. I think that the longer that this night goes on, Dev, we become more delirious.
I feel pretty delirious right now, I'm gonna be honest.
We become more delirious. The moment that you said fished, I exactly knew what you had looked at. Because I did the same thing not that early. I had to catch myself.
GyoGun have accessed some deeper level of my subconsciousness I've never been in touch with before.
I think that as this night goes on, our casting could get real interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting. We've absolutely lost it tonight, I think. Anyway, as was that round.
Well,
like you said, that was a really
CAG
strange
might have lost
round.
it too, Manny. That's what scares me.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not good, especially going into the defending up. We were saying, like, wow, their attacks were so good. They were being so disciplined. And GyoGun were doing bad and stuff like that. But now, they're on their attack half. And it's not like that, I mean, they're on their defending half. It's not like they're doing, like, all that much better so far. It's only been 2 rounds, so you can't really say much. But not that impressive yet.
We will see if they can replicate their basement attack, because now they got to do it again. Did it once before. Cyclops were able to win 2 basement attacks on their half, but I mean, if GyoGun can do it again, I mean, that would be insane. That'd be 4 attacks won, not a single defense on Laundry Supply, which is one of the most defender-favored bomb sites in the game at the moment. Apparently not so here in Cyclops versus GyoGun. There seems to be a bit of a standoff with this roam clear beginning. Array but a drone ahead for Benjamin.
Gonna be a tough sweep though. Solace has telegraphed the push that they are going for. Ooh. And Anaton is there to support on the Echo. Roaming Echo! That's not something that you see every day. But he's there and he knows that Anaton needed help because he called out. Guys, they're droning out the top floor. Now Sean Chan is trying to look for this cutoff onto Anaton, but he seems pretty aware of a player inside of Small Tower as he makes his way down the white stairs and can claim that kill. Another one inside of Showers and there to almost sing onto him, but he can slip his way into Freezer, supported by Black Ray, just wrapping around the back of Noaxa? I can't say things.
Noaxa. Noaxa.
5-1 is pretty dire
anymore.
Yeah, 5-1. Tough now for Rainbow, who found himself in the bomb site. What a strange round yet again. This is pretty far from a normal game of Oregon, Dev. There is nothing normal about this game at all.
I mean, this was a 4-player roam from Cyclops, which ended up insanely successful into a 5v1 site retake. Absolutely ridiculous. Just something else on another level. But CAG, finally, they do what seems to be impossible, which is win a defense on Laundry Supply, which should be so easily achievable. And yet only 1 of the 4 times it's been defended hasn't been won in this game.
I'm scared, Dev. This isn't Oregon. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense. We don't do that around here in Japan League. We never do that around here, it seems. I mean, it's exciting, but like...
It's confusing.
It's confusing.
I do not understand it.
Confused and dazed. Losing my mind. That's what I am every time that I watch Japan League. It's exciting though. Good times. Finally,
imagine
like
trying to play it though.
Yeah, imagine.
How frustrating would that be?
Imagine being a Japan team. Honestly, I think about this literally every week that we cast this league. I always think like, wow, this could be so much fun. But I would be so bad at this because nothing makes sense. You just have to be like 1 with Japan League to be able to get what's going on. I don't think I am 1 with Japan League. I don't think I'm worthy.
We're going to have to prove ourselves, just as these 2 teams have to prove themselves to stay in the fight for the major. It's crazy to think that a match, simple BO1, as ridiculous as this one has been, has so much riding on it.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad you said that. I kind of forgot that this was a fight for the major. There's been such an odd game of Oregon that I forgot what was at stake. These are some big BO1s, and in the most odd fashion possible. Now, like you said, Benjamin seems to be in a lot of these opening engagements, where it's the opening death or the opening kill. He's there. And thankfully, this time, it is the opening kill. That's poising GyoGun to take this early round nice and easy. Man advantage in their hands so far as they look to take the lobby control.
Only 3 rounds of defense won of the 9 we have played so far. As we go into the 10th, GyoGun will try to continue the incredibly attack-sided Oregon that we have seen as this roam clear comes to a head. Noaxa on the forefront of it, but he loses his head. A Kuli, nasty shot with that SMG-11. He peels on back. Now GyoGun turn their attention to the top floor. Sean Chan moving forward with Benjamin in tow. The prone spots the player, but Chimisu for the peak finds one before he is traded back again. But Sean Chan has taken the ground, given GyoGun a chance here.
GyoGun are playing a really fantastic early to mid round. They've been really hand in hand and quick on those trades off the back of the entry pick that they got. Now a 3-on-3 situation is always going to be really tough for CAG. They need to get a read on what the attack is going to do and then position themselves right to be able to shut down the execute as it comes through. But Ochan is going to go for a wander off down into the basement, an excursion, perhaps trying to look for any lurkers down here. This could be really scary. It's actually a Cully who I think is playing on those freezer stairs and can be really caught off guard here.
Is he going to hear it? The sprint comes through. Akuli is fully aware and able to take him down. GyoGun are falling. Cyclops recomposed. Started with a tough set of defenses, but now they've found their footing. Shonchan is tasked with the unenviable role of clutching up a 1v3. No diffuser in sight. He has some information based on the rattle-tattle of those rifles on the defensive side, but it's a slug shotty from Aniton to lock it in. And that is match point here for Cyclops.
Yeah, I kind of liked what GyoGun tried to go for there. I liked that they tried to pinch out the player on the freezer stairs in tandem with the vertical pressure that was going on. Thought it was a good idea. But unfortunately, CAG just kind of on the ball there. It was Okali to win his one. Not only that, but Suzu even took the fight onto the hatch inside of Attic, and that's where the diffuser got dropped down. So it's just unfortunate that the small micro things, that the little things in the round didn't quite pan out in the way of GyoGun. They lost out their 2 ones that were necessary to win out the late game. And as a result, it put CAG on that match point.
It's always ambitious for a team to go and challenge Cyclops. For GyoGun, even more so being a team that comes from that lower level in the Japan region, not part of the Japan League itself. And now they're really finding out what it means to go up against some of the best that Japan has to offer. For Cyclops, this game has gone on for quite a long time and they've let a lot of rounds slip that perhaps they shouldn't have. If they want to say that they are one of the best in Japan, if they want to have a shot at going to the major and having a deep run at the major for the first time in what feels like forever, they need to do away with teams like GyoGun. They need to move on to bigger fish, so to speak.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it's like, yes, we're talking about CAG as if they won the series. Look, it's not over yet. There's a Maru in the hands of Ochan. I'm scared. I feel like surely they can pull something out of the bag to keep us running here. CAG still need to close it out, and like you said, there are still bigger fish to fight if they want their spot at the international stage. But the first thing they have to deal with is possibly a pretty unexpected attack from GyoGun.
Very separated defense from Cyclops, fully hit in tower. These site players are getting a little bit of pressure from elsewhere. I think there's information from Ochan on where Arkuli is, as the rest of GyoGun is posting positions, not over-aggressing as of yet. Very slow and steady.
This is actually a bit scary, in my opinion, for CAG. There's only like 2 defenders on the bomb site, I think. Akrile's a bit far. Oh, okay, Black Ray's starting to make his way back in. I think they've identified that, in fact, GyoGun got a lot of drones in the bomb site. Oh, nice drone inside T3. Is able to spot out Akali in his position. Really nice cleanup from Ochan there. Self-sufficient in the intel. Benjamin as well is going to start sending out the nades from his position to try and flush out the remaining defenders on the bomb site, of which, honestly, there were not that many of them just a couple seconds ago.
And here comes the breach from Araba with the thermite. And this generator wall has been smashed wide open. A drone to send through now. Black Ray hears it to go for an aggressive peek. And the Yokai drone goes ahead of him to clear the position to give Black Ray a chance, but he gets taken down. There might be a shot here for GyoGun, but Suzu's not going to let it rest.
Really nice work so far from CAG to hold their ground. Aniton re-aggressing inside of that attic position to finish the kill onto Raybar. Now 3-on-2 for GyoGun. The wall has been open for them, but the diffuser is cold on the ground as Ochan has been clearly spotted out in attic and smoked off. With only 45 seconds left, it's going to be up to the heroics of GyoGun to try and clutch it back, but not before Aniton shuts down Benjamin.
It all comes down to Ochan. It's been a long road to get here for GyoGun. But it may end in just a flash as he's going to Amaru straight into the kids' dorms. And he is swiftly shut down by Suzu. GyoGun might have given Cyclops a run for their money, but CAG will not go down so easy. 7-4 is a very valiant scoreline for GyoGun, but for Cyclops it means a date in the semi-finals.
Really nice stuff from CAG. GyoGun deciding to gift the win of Oregon into the welcome arms of Suzu, who was on the other side to meet